Alright, so that was a juicy Ace of Swords yesterday. The 2 to 3 o'clock mark, this price line right here. Right, opportunity to position oneself in both directions. And there's the price movement that allows for you to put it on in two separate legs, right? You put on one leg, you put on the other leg, you close one leg, you close the other leg, or you close one leg and you close the other leg like that. Did expect this to go higher though. Really crazy. I mean, and that's in essence, like, it's not going to be, there's always going to be like a little, I call them permutations, because the way the SO meta analysis works, it's pattern recognition utilizing fractals. Fractals change, they have permutations, so it's like the same pattern with a slight change, which is why sometimes we're wrong. And it's turning out this is a pretty important price level here. We could say it's the science card today. Trade opportunity there. What is that? 12, right? So within this 11 to 12 o'clock kind of thing at a low, and then a big move to the upside, and an opportunity to close at a high, just as we expected. I just expected us to go higher. That's the only thing. It looks like there's probably an opportunity at the end of the day to close a long position too. But there is a sharp drop here, and it's also a cross congruency, giving it a lot of strength. So we might actually see a pretty big drop off of this level. There's only a few minutes left, like 15 minutes. Yeah, this is probably where we have a turnaround. Sorry to get on so late, guys. It's just been a pretty busy day. And then I had some tech issues. Hey, Raymond. So there's a trade opportunity at the Chariot here. I think we probably open higher tomorrow, have a high early in the day, and then it doesn't look like it's a high at the end of the day. It looks like it's probably more of a crest. But what's interesting is there's a Chariot card here, right? So there's a trade in here on the scale of like the... What am I talking about when I see Chariot? See this little Chariot here? It's kind of covered over, but it's a trade correlation to the Chariot card. It takes place on the 24th. We have the Chariot card right there at a high-low. My sense is that this is probably the high where this Chariot is. I think we're probably going to open higher tomorrow. I wouldn't hop out of them just yet, Raymond. Let's take a look. there's supposed to be a crest here. So it doesn't end up being a high, but it ends up being a crest. Like it's not a highest high, but it ends up being a crest. Which is what I really lean towards this being the high anyways. This is just a crest, but where it takes place, it might end up being on the 27th. I think we have probably the highest price level. Let me look. Let me take a look. Probably the highest price level of the week. Tomorrow, like around this time, 10 to 11 here. And then we should have a pretty notable decline. And then a big push to the upside towards the very end of the day, like out of a low back to a high. We got the Ace of Wands in the low position, the Princess of Wands in the high position. Wow, it's like really contradictory. Well, that's not, what am I saying? It's not contradictory, it's congruent. They're both leaning to an opportunity to open up a short position here. I mean, look at this. This is the Ace, the Princess of Wands right here on the 24th, right? We've got the Princess of Wands at the high on the 24th. We've got the Chariot card here between the 10th and 11th. We got the Ace of Wands at the low. I mean, there's so many strong cross congruencies here. I would definitely take the opportunity tomorrow to close out of the long position, probably. Hopefully not for too much of a loss, but probably around here, and I would get into a short position. We open lower, it looks like on the 27th. Another cross congruency. They're very reliable, guys, cross congruencies. I'm not sure what you mean by trend reversal to continue, because we're kind of going sideways right now. But I would hold the long position probably until tomorrow around 10:30 probably. What the heck? Where's my February MGM? I don't understand where it went. There it is. Oh, we were super on point with this reading. Super on point. Yeah, I would get into a short position here. And since I'm not seeing any, well, actually, there's a trade on the 27th. In the morning of the 27th is when I would close that short position, actually. Morning of the 27th. SPCE. setup looking pretty solid. Into lows. I do the same thing there. I'd open up a short. I'd open up a short position here, which you might be able to close. You might be able to close it tomorrow, but at the worst, you'd close it on the 28th. If there's not like a severe gap down in SPC on the 27th, morning of the 27th, if there is, I would take that opportunity. But yeah, those are some short positions. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be. We've already gone past quite a bit of the what we would have expected to be. Where do we go? We would have expected it to go. See, I was expecting us to be here by now, and we did have a big move to the upside today, but not nearly to where I wanted to see it. There we go. Move it to the upside, but not nearly where I wanted to see it. And then tomorrow ends up being the peak of this like rally. So wherever we end up being tomorrow, that's what I would take as the high point, and then just out. That's a turnaround, I'm telling you. Multiple false kind of tops here is what a prudence card would have us would lead me to expect. March 2nd, there's a Fed meeting. Hey G888, welcome. Let's check out the March S&P reading. I just finished April, guys. If you want to see the April stuff, it's going to be loaded like within the next couple days. All of the S&P 500 one-day readings for April are going to be on our website, which you can access early through the yearly access subscription. Should be pretty easy to find on the site now. It wasn't before, but it is now. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for SPC. Excuse me, S&P. So March 2nd, it's an important day. Yeah, I mean we've got the Ace of Discs there, so that would make sense. You see that? I've started to see the Ace of Discs turn up where there's like an important meeting about like monetary meeting or economics meeting or Fed, basically like a Fed meeting. I see this sometimes, whereas like you'd see the if it was like Congress, you see the Hierophant, you see the Ace of Discs a lot of the time when there's a Fed meeting. Looks like we have a high at the end of the day there. Yeah, looks like we have a high. This high correlation may actually be for the second at the end of the day, and then maybe the third midday we have it again. I want to see if I can determine if it's a higher high in March. So we push out of the bottom of a range here, oversold territory, into an important resistance level here on the first, with a bit of a decline off of it. What's interesting to note is that the high here in February was around a Princess of Swords. We have the Ace of Swords here, near the high. It may be the same price level, maybe the same high in March. Probably the same price level because I'm not picking up on like another prominent crest here, so that's probably can be indicated by a lack of that it's the same price level. Yeah, Raymond. So let's go with sequence of events to be more on the safe side here. Right, so right now we've got this peak at the end of the day. That's this. And there should be a reversal. My sense is probably to the downside or sideways rotation along this 400 mark maybe. We opened slightly higher the following day than where we closed, so that bodes well. There's not a lot of space left for it to be below the high. And what I'd want to see in the pre-market is a failed attempt to break through key resistance, probably this price level here. Probably like the 402 range. We failed to break through it and then decline through support level, and then at the open we do like a prominent move higher, followed by a full retracement. You want to get it. You want to get out before the full retracement. It looks like that prominent move higher probably goes from the open to roughly 1030. I'd probably get it out around like 1015. But what I'd want to see is this prominent move higher along a diagonal trend line break through a key horizontal resistance, which could be this price level right here again. Like we fail to hit it, we drop, and then we break out through it on the next attempt. That's probably what it is. I'd say whatever this failed attempt here in the pre-market, we break through it there, out of the open into roughly 10 o'clock, and I'd probably look to exit and get into a short position around 10 o'clock. There may be another opportunity to get into a short position at the end of the day, but we should go definitively lower on the 27th at the open. We should be significantly lower based on this Ace of Wands in the low position, meaning that even if you bought a short position at the low on the 24th, you could still make money because we're going lower. Does that clarify, Raymond? probably go to like these levels in March. Let me take a closer look at March. Yeah, okay, like the 24th or the 25th of March. I need the actual like first chart in order for it to stick. It's so stupid. Right, so if you're new to this, guys, January cluster, February cluster, March cluster gives us like limited information about like overarching trend information about the months, and then in relation to each other on a 1 year scale chart. So what we're looking for is a prominent trough. We've already kind of got this prominent trough here, but I think we probably end up going lower. March 24th. So we should do something like this. Before we get to March 24th, let's see. Something like this. I'll probably adjust them a little bit as we get closer. I'm going to get rid of these. We might even see it there. But I think what we're doing is we're establishing, like, we broke out, we were, in 2022 we were on this downward trajectory, and then here in January we broke out above that diagonal trend line, right? So what we need to do is kind of like establish that we're above it, is my sense. Right, we're coming up on like a point where we should see some like testing of the 100-day moving average. It's kind of like converges with this line, so we probably see something here on like the 17th, or excuse me, not the 17th, the 27th, and then we probably go to like somewhere around here. I'll make this a little bit bigger. I'll tighten them up as we get closer. I'll be able to determine with tighter accuracy. That's correct, Raymond. That's something that we would do in a private reading, Carolyn. If I start doing that here, I'm gonna have to do that for everybody again, you know? I don't want to do that. Would a private reading that would work? Or like a, you know, if you wanted me to do an NVIDIA monthly or something like that, I'd get into it for you. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to zero. I'm hearing that from a lot of places. People are saying it's going to zero. It's not. I mean, it might go to like what might as well be zero, you know. But like to actual absolute zero, very doubtful for most of them. Close to it, probably. Yeah. I mean, you know, and that's a relative thing as well. It's relative, and it's not for all of them. But relative, you know, what's close to zero might not be the same for somebody else. I would say that in the long run, there are definite cryptos that are going to make multi-millionaires, probably billionaires in the future. It's not like that was a one-off. That'll happen again, especially because there's still so much skepticism about crypto. Like, the more skepticism there is, the more opportunity there is. It's here to stay, my friends. It's not going anywhere. Need to be mindful of which ones you get involved in, though, because there's a lot of just like bull crap out there. Excuse my French. There's actually, if you go to the channel search bar, guys, you can search for 2023 buy opportunities, and there's a playlist of all these buy opportunities. That playlist gets added to. It's not like that's a complete list. As I go through these readings and I see that it's an opportunity in 2023, I'll add it to that playlist. But you can find that on the channel, and see some of the cryptos in there are worthy of being considered opportunities in 2023. All right, well, let's not get political here around Earth. I'm not a fan of politics. Yeah, crypto in general it's definitively an opportunity. Like, the lower we are, the more opportunity, obviously. But that's how I look at it. I'll look into that parabolic rally. I think I have a 1 year for NVIDIA, come to think of it. Let me take a look. I don't know if I did it yet, we'll see. No, not done. Looks like there's a crest in the last week of February, and then we declined pretty notably from that crest in March. Hopefully you got that, Carolyn. You're welcome. I forgot I put a spread down for NVIDIA. I just wish it had been marked up already. I'm just now starting to get ahead like I needed to. I couldn't do it. Normally I get ahead at the end of the year. I get ahead for the next year, but it was like the worst retrograde of my life. Such a mess. So I'm just finished April now. Which, by the way, guys, if you didn't catch that early on, I mentioned that April S&P 500 one-day readings, they're all done and recorded and scheduled already. You'll be able to get access to those with the early access subscription on our website probably within the next 2 days or so, 3 days. Yeah, there's not much of a move to the upside before. Ooh. There's a breakout to like a prominent crest or peak somewhere in like the third or fourth week of March. Looks like for Bitcoin. I'm gonna try and get a March done, guys, because I know it's like so popular. It's just it won't be done under an ideal influence, which does make a big difference, guys. It does. It's the difference between like being like 2 days off or being right on the minute. It's not like it'll be wrong. The sequence of events will still be accurate, but the real opportunity here is in the end of March for Bitcoin at least. And I kind of use Bitcoin as an like if I was looking at the S&P in comparison to stocks that follow the S&P, kind of think of Bitcoin in a lot of regards as like the pattern of Bitcoin for many, not all, would follow similar. And so there's this opportunity in the end of March, really. It's in the end of March or early April. End of March, early April. Matter of fact, I think the opportunities in early April, we might actually see kind of like a breakout here to the upside. We might see a breakout here to the upside in March, and then a decline into April. Gotta love Pisces season. As a Cancer and a really sensitive empath, like lunar influences have a ton of impact for me. Yeah, so there's this trough in early March, which I don't think we necessarily go like super low in. There's a trough before a peak, like some volatility that ends with a fast sudden move higher. It looks like towards the third week of March, maybe or the beginning of the fourth, and then from there we decline pretty notably into a prominent, like an important low here. I don't have a lowest low really cordoned off. They're marked off because it wasn't easy to determine where exactly it is. But my sense is that these are some very bottomy cards right here. This is as well, but this is really bottomy right here. And this is the March and the April cluster. Very, very bottomy right here. I think April's probably right on the edge there. The start of April's like when you want to get in on these cryptos. And I'm sure if you check out the 2023 playlist with all the 2023 buy opportunities, the cryptos on that list would probably, I'd probably be talking about an opportunity somewhere in March. That's my assumption. I do so many readings, guys, I can't keep track of it off the top of my head. But I do remember quite a lot of things I looked at following a similar pattern. Alright, I'm going to run through tomorrow's game plan real quick, and then I'm going to sign off, my friends. Where's that? I want the proper... Yeah, here we go. Alright, so we definitely expect it to be higher than we are here, but since we haven't made these highs here that I expected, like this is the crest that I expected to be higher. This is a crest right here. So tomorrow we're probably going to have a slightly higher open. And then around 10:15 is when we identified most likely the time frame to close out of a long position. Whether or not it's profitable, that's probably what you want to do. Close out of a long position, open up a short position with the intent to close the short position on the 27th. I mean, this is such an indication of a bearish move to in the near future. This reading is speaking of such a bearish next day. Like, you could literally buy a put at the low of the 24th and make money on the 27th, is my sense. Right, so we go like this, and then we might test these levels on the 27th. I should move this a little bit. If you're new to this, we kind of mark off where we see like a range with these eclipses, a range on the chart where we see like a low or a high taking place, indicated by green as the high, red as the low. We're not always right, obviously, but we've got a pretty good track record. It's not bad. And so really what's important, especially if you're new, to understand is that the timing may or may not be right on the ball. Sometimes it's right on the ball, sometimes there's really some wiggle room, but the sequence of events is almost always going to be 100% accurate. So when you're looking to place these trades, you want to think about around the time that we're looking to do it, but what you want to do is you want to look for the sequence of events. So what we're looking for tomorrow, so luckily we don't have a lot of space between today's high and where we closed. I do know we're going to open slightly higher. There's not a lot of wiggle room here, but we should open higher, and then with that said, have a failed attempt to break through a key resistance. I think it's probably going to be this resistance here in the pre-market will fail. It's either this resistance, like 401.50-ish, or it's like this 402-ish. But it's probably 402. We'll fail to break through it in the pre-market, and then we'll decline, and then out of the open, there's going to be a prominent move to the upside along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance, which is probably going to be the same resistance level that we failed to break through in the pre-market. And when we break through that horizontal resistance, we should move to meet a second resistance. When we meet that second resistance, that's when I would exit the long position, and that's when I would open up a short position. Short position with the intent to sell in the morning on the 27th. All right, guys, that's the S&P 500 for tomorrow. That's the live for today. Really appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget, guys, really counting on you guys to follow through on the rule of karma. The channel does need you. Without people following the rule of karma, we would not be doing these readings at this point. We lost all of our financing. They did it for too long. We didn't grow nearly as fast as we expected because people are so skeptical they don't even bother to look. But point is we had financing for a whole extra year past what we expected, and that's gone. So we really are counting on you guys to come through. Some of the ways that you can follow the rule of karma is on the website. Go to the resources tab. There's PayPal, there's Cash App link, and then also you could always order a 1-month subscription. I think of it as kind of like sponsoring the content. You're sponsoring a monthly of whatever ticker or crypto you're interested in, and you get the paid version of that ahead of the public version coming out. Paid version has all the best trades that we see. Public version does not. There's early access. There's all sorts of ways you could do a one-on-one consult. Those are pretty productive. But with that said, guys, I'm going to leave you at that. Much appreciated for your interest